Hey guys, welcome to part 3 of demystifying or decoding spiritual awakenings. I'm going to start with a little summary to where we are to this point, and then the next thing that we really need to focus on, or we don't need to do anything, but what we should focus on, or at least, let me rephrase that. God says I should focus on is discernment and understanding what your position is in this spiritual awakening. That the reality is you're the center of all of this. It is for you, after all. So there's a little kid ripping around on an ATV just out here. It looks like a lot of fun, so I might have to close my window, but it's also very hot, so we'll see. So to this point, I've explained that the nature of reality is that everything is energy. You are a energetic being inhabiting a physical avatar in a energetic construct that is planet Earth in order to gain wisdom. You're in a wisdom school and you've just woken up to this. There is a separation between the operating system of the body, the avatar, also known as the brain or the egoic mind, and you now realize that you are not that those thoughts and the conditioning and energy stored in that body are part of this wisdom school. You aren't that. What you are is the fractal of God down here on in this energetic construct, learning to gain wisdom, and wisdom being the knowledge with practical experience creates wisdom. So you come here to understand something that you can't understand without actually going through it. So all of these calamities and these negative experiences we have, are for our benefit. They're for us to understand, us being the fractal of God, the ray of sunshine from the sun, which is not different from the sun or separate from it. It is a beam of consciousness from the source. That's you. So what brought me to this is someone made a comment on one of my videos. We're looking for sources and information of where I'm getting my information from. And that would take forever. I had my first spiritual awakening in 2013, which was my first glimpse of the ego not being the ego. I hadn't yet done any of the healing or anything. But for about 10 years, I did nothing but read Stoic philosophy, religious texts, to the point where I realized that I couldn't solve the puzzle from that way. The physical world cannot solve what you're looking for. There is no source that you're going to find that is going to give you the answers you want. What you want to do, if you want proof, let's say, there's never going to be any. You can't get it on the outside. It goes on the inside. So thank you for that comment, because it triggered an understanding of where we lose track sometimes. So this place is literally a school. You're in a school. The school, the physical outside universe that you had fallen asleep in, is extremely complex. It must be extremely complex if you're going to fool a god. If you're going to fool a part of the Almighty God into realizing the things that it can't experience on the other side when it's connected back to Source, you must create a pretty damn good illusion. So it is. This is why people quite often don't believe in a higher realms and God, to be specific. They don't, because this illusion is so damn convincing. Your body, your physical body, the avatar, the brain, is composed of trillions, with a T, of cells. Individual little organelles like independent organisms that many don't even realize they're part of, well, how would you say that? Likely don't realize that they're part of a higher being, the you. Much like you being a ray of Source itself, those little organelles don't understand that they're part of a larger organism, the avatar. So these trillions of cells work in communication with the cells nearest to them, or they get chemical signals to perform a specific function that they're created to do. And in the end, this makes the entire whole being, this human meat suit. It's extremely complex. Yet, how else would it be? You're here in a wisdom school. If this wasn't so complex, you'd catch on right away. And then how could you possibly learn the lessons you need to learn? That's the whole point. So you're looking for answers that are energetic. Answers that there is no proof. Really. There's hints pointing to this, definitely. But the entire point of this place is to be a place where God loses itself. So if there was proof in the game itself, then God, that would defeat the purpose of the whole entire energetic construct in the first place. How would God learn the lessons it needs to learn if this place gave up its secrets? So you will never find it. This long story short. I looked from 2013 until 2020-ish and then gave up because you'll never find the proof you're looking for. So what this is leading me to is the importance of trusting yourself and learning to trust your intuition and having discernment over the messages you are receiving. There is no one that can do this for you. It's your lesson plan. So you start to wake up into the story, and you can't. Many of us try to solve everybody else's problems first. It's the wounded healer phase of the awakening process. Can't do that. Again, the energetic construct is created specifically to have gained wisdom. The people that are around you must go through their lesson plan. It is not for you to save them. You're actually doing them a disservice by even trying. Your only objective is to heal yourself. And that only happens when the awakening process is triggered. It won't start before. You can't do it earlier. This is completely divinely timed. so that everybody's stories intertwines with everybody else's. And how would that work if you were awake for 10 years before everybody else needed to be in your story? Again, does any of the stuff on the outside actually matter? Like in my previous videos, you'll see me surrounded by crystals, and I've got a bear skull and a blanket and all of that stuff. Again, this is an energetic construct. It doesn't really matter. It isn't going to save you. The answers are not on the outside. For me, all of those things, those trinkets in my little office space I have, essentially create a high energy bubble for me to sit in. I feel better when I'm in there. And the reason for that is those physical items have energy attached to them. High vibrational energy. Each one has a memories from my life. Like the blanket was my grandfather's blanket before he passed. The macrame was my wife made that. She put her conscious attention and energy into it. So it means something to me. The bear skull, it was my first shamanic journey. I brought that with me, and it's my son who harvested it. And the deer, every single one of those things has some sort of memory. Each crystal, the purple bow, it would take me forever to go through and explain each one of them. So they have an energy which, what does that do? It imparts, it helps me, is all it really does. It's like a lubricant. So if that's a high vibrational energy bubble and I sit in it, it helps me stay at a higher vibration. If I go to places where there's tons of noise and chemical smells and people with their energy, it drains me. So in a way it matters, and in a way it doesn't. If you have a issue with your root chakra, that's the color red, there's particular stones that are purported to have the ability to clear that out for you. Nothing will clear anything unless you consciously focus on it and you give that item energy to do something to you. This is how powerful you are. The important part of this conversation is that it's everything. You're the purveyor and the curator of every single thing in your existence. Now that can be daunting and it can be kind of scary, but it is the truth. Things only have power over you if you let them. Period. We've run into these issues. Okay, so the physical avatar on occasion will out of nowhere get bad thoughts. We call them intrusive thoughts. And where did those come from? There's high vibrational entities, there's low vibrational entities, and all of it's happening for you. So where did that come from? It came from the inside the house. But it came for you. It's so you can learn that nothing has power over you unless you allow it. So we allow all of this stuff. If you have that intrusive thought, it isn't you. It's coming from somewhere else. So holding judgment on yourself for having it is step one. And then there's ways to protect yourself once you realize that it isn't you. It's an energetic battle that you're in. And all of it wants your conscious attention. Every single Every single thing is looking for your conscious attention. Now, if you weren't important, why in the heck would anything be so desperate to grasp your conscious attention? Where your attention goes, your energy flows. This is a rule, and that's the point. Figuring out that you're the only one who can answer that question for yourself is a huge step in the right direction. That nothing can hurt you unless you allow it. That things, anything on the outside, only has as much power as you give it. That is part of this awakening path. That most people are not there yet. But a large portion of the population is starting to reach this point, to an understanding that their conscious attention is the currency. That they are the ones. Why is everyone vying for your attention so much? Come on, give yourself a question. Answer that yourself. And then understanding that all the answers are coming from you. You are God. You're a fractal of it. So getting your vibration high, like meditating, staying present, is a way to connect to your higher self, back to source. All the information that you could ever want is there. So when your body is full of trauma and low vibrational energy in the form of conditioning, and you haven't processed any of that, it's very hard to stay there consistently. So you'll have glimpses of the bigger picture, and then you'll fall back into the body, into association with the body. You're always going to be in it until the day you leave this realm. So your only objective here is to drop the baggage so you can float higher. It's like a hot air balloon. They have little weights on the sides of the bag. If they want to go higher, they drop the weight, and the balloon rises higher. Another sandbag. They just drop it until the point that they're flying high. And that is exactly akin to what you're doing. Those bags of sand on the side, that's your trauma, that's your conditioning, that's your lack of understanding as to how important you are to the height of that balloon. You are the entire balloon. In fact, you are the sky that the balloon is flying in. So looking for answers on the outside for somebody else, I mean, at best you can get a nudge, I hope that's what I'm doing here. I'm trying to nudge people to see that you are the center of this whole experiment. I'm the center of my version of the experiment. Above, we're projecting down into each avatar, but we're coming from the same place. We are one, you and I. We are the one experiencing, here learning the lessons. So you have to have faith, and faith requires not having the proof. They're just not going to get the answers. I heard someone say that it's like looking for proof in the story is like, it was a comedian, I can't remember his name. This is brilliant. Looking for proof in the story is like Harry Potter looking for J.K. Rowling in the Harry Potter novels. She's not there. You're never going to find her. What you will find if you look at the entire story as a whole instead of from your own individual little character perspective, you can see the essence of J.K. Rowling in her thought pattern in each one of the characters. She created them, after all. So you got to look at the bigger picture. The perspective is higher the higher you fly. So drop the baggage. Again, as your balloon rises higher in the sky, you can see the bigger picture. And you can start to see J.K. Rowling. You can start to see God in everything around you. But it won't happen until you start to do the work. You cannot fly high with all that baggage. So step one, start learning how to drop some of this baggage, to process the old energy that's stuck in you from God knows how long ago. It's getting breezy. You gotta walk before you can run, and you gotta run before you can fly. And a lot of people, when they get a glimpse of what's possible and what the end is going to look like for you, have faith. Excuse me, it will. They want to run now. They want it now. They don't. And I was exactly like that. I went through all of this in that step-by-step form. That's the only reason I know any of this, is because I tried to heal everybody else. I tried to fix everyone else. I tried to avoid the pain. I drank for decades. And the only solution to that alcoholism was dropping the baggage. As soon as I did that, I quit drinking like the next day. It is that powerful. The avatar wants that pain to go away, and it doesn't know how to process it. And when you get to the point where you are now, you can start processing that stuff. As soon as you as soon as you give the avatar no reason to drink, it won't. As soon as you wrestle back control of the avatar, so that you can make better choices, you will. And all of these things that are by sheer force of will impossible to do, or damn near, like quitting drinking cold turkey, is possible now. It is. It's that powerful. So just remember who you are, and trust your intuition. If something is resonating with you, if this message makes sense to you and makes you feel better and lighter and gives you hope for the future, guess what? It's doing that because it's in resonance with you and where you are right now. And that is important. If that's the only thing that matters. You're God. What are you telling yourself? What am I telling you? Who am I being the how do I say this? What message am I being the conduit for that you need to hear right now? That's what I'm asking myself every time I turn this camera on. And it starts by me getting into a meditative state, raising my vibration, lifting the balloon a little higher so that I can see, I can connect to source easier, and then I ask God, what message do you want to convey? This is what channeling is. And it sends me exactly what I need to say. And someone will find this, and it'll be important. So discernment, learn to trust yourself, learn to trust your intuition, and start dropping some of those sandbags you've been carrying around since you were little. That's the way forward, the only way forward. No amount of reading scientific texts is going to solve this for you. It's like Harry Potter trying to solve the riddle of God inside the novel. So I think I'm going to leave it there, guys. Like I always say, I hope this video finds you well. Ooh, before I do, please like and subscribe. If you want to follow for more, I'm going to continue to expand on this and try to keep this idea of a simple message moving forward. And I need people to subscribe if they want to see more of this. So, like I always say, I hope this video finds you well. I love you all, and we'll see you soon.